Okay, how do I get into an IB school if I don't have IB experience?
Yeah, another good question. Just to set the stage, there are different curricula that international schools use. British curriculum, the English national curriculum to be more precise, or British orientated schools, those are the most popular. They have about a third to a half of the market. So that's the biggest piece of the pie. The next biggest piece of the pie is the US curriculum, and we notice that growth, especially in the affordable school market in the Middle East. So those tend to be affordable schools, and certain countries have an affinity for the US, like Japan. So that's the next one, and that's about 15 to 20% of the market. Right below that is international baccalaureate. As opposed to the first two, international baccalaureate is not a national curriculum. It was developed after the Second World War to be an international curriculum without the strings of nationalism involved. And so that idea is that we have a curriculum that can be used anywhere in the world. You can go to a US university, an Australian university, a British university, and they'll all know what IB is. It is extremely valuable in terms of your career to have IB experience.
Yeah.
It's generally using the latest pedagogy. It's very inquiry-based. It's very child-centered. It's community-based. It's a lot of great things. So IB schools also tend to be the more expensive schools. It's expensive to run. So therefore, the salaries tend to be higher. So it's a great question. How do you get into IB schools if you don't have IB experience? Because you can't get it at home unless you happen to have an IB school in your home country. So the answer is there are certain schools that we consider starter schools. And these are schools that might be in less desirable locations. So for instance, Kuwait. We placed a teacher just recently in Kyrgyzstan at an IB school. These were people without IB experience, but because the schools are in less desirable locations, they get less applications and they're willing to be more open-minded. I would say don't hold your breath if you're trying to get into an IB school in Dubai or Hong Kong, because they will be taking people who have it already. So you need to think of it as a career ladder. You start in a less desirable location and then you move into, after 2 or 3 years of experience, you can then move up the food chain to the more desirable locations. You have to think off the beaten path, sorry.
If you're a teacher that's not working in an IB school, say for example you're doing the Cambridge curriculum, there's no reason why you can't adapt some of the IB principles of education, student-centered teaching, differentiation, inquiry-based learning. You could apply it to any curriculum.
You could.
And if a teacher is able to do that and show evidence of doing that with good outcomes, that's going to be a way to a fully fledged IB school.
It's certainly going to get, and it would give you a step up. It would definitely give you a step up. And another thing I've seen teachers do is there are some online courses on IB. You can do like an introduction to IB. I think the IBO offers that. So yes, you're going to have to pay off your own back, but it will get the school's attention that you've done this. It puts you kind of in a different, it draws attention to the fact that you are a dedicated professional, that you've paid for this yourself. So that's another way to do it. But yes, showing evidence of the fact that you've done IB-like things, it makes a difference.